For 40 years, Richard Brooks' Looking for Mr. Goodbar was a ghost, the funeral film for the free love era, capturing the exact jagged moment the 60s curdled into the predatory paranoia of the 80s, the forbidden end note of the sexual revolution via disco nights, sexual promiscuity and misogynistic male rage. A film buried by licensing hell and clearance issues that meant it was unavailable on DVD and Blu-ray for years. Thankfully, Vinegar Syndrome's 4K UHD is more than a restoration. It is a high-velocity rescue mission. This maxed bitrate presentation finally exposes the industrial grime of the New York nights with harrowing clarity and searing seediness. The strobe lights, the sweat-slicked dance floors, and the deep ink black shadows are rendered with a high-grain intensity that defines the Vinegar Syndrome restorations of late. We are seeing texture and detail from the grit of the back alleys to the manic glint in Diane Keaton's eyes that remained hidden on grainy bootlegs for decades. This is the definitive unfiltered visual truth of a film that was nearly lost to faded 35mm prints. Diane Keaton delivers a performance emotionally and physically naked years ahead of her peers, playing Theresa as the unhinged nympho navigating a landscape of liberated danger. Richard Brooks, the man who brought us the clinical violence of In Cold Blood and the searing tension of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, brings a veteran's eye to this edgy 70s underworld. While Brooks may have been an elder statesman in a world of disco excess, his formalist lens creates a chilling, clinical distance from Theresa as subject. The film is a friction burn between two worlds, the mundane fluorescent reality of the daytime, where teacher Theresa chases romance and a man to settle down with, versus the strobe-lit disintegration of the night where anyone is fair game for Diane's affections, no matter how abusive or coercive. This is the herald of the A's era, a prophetic look at the sex pests and urban predators who had become the prominent villains of 80s cinema. Theresa Dunn isn't just seeking liberation, she is dancing on the edge of a predatory void, even if her men are played by youthful Tom Berenger and Richard Gere at his psychotic method best. Looking for Mr. Goodbar is a visceral, uncomfortable chapter of the late 70s, and important because of its stance, a standout example of an old-school filmmaker capturing a culture in its final desperate throes of freedom. Vinegar Syndrome's 4K treatment is a triumph of physical media preservation, living up to our ideals at the last disc on Earth, that come the apocalypse, physical media will prevail.